So Saturday the 26th of October, or as they say in parkrun world, Parkrun Day. Can you tell me where we're heading?
It's not Armageddon. We're off to Penistone Parkrun.
Yeah, our local parkrun, literally 300 yards from our front door, around this corner. So today I hit an arbitrary parkrun milestone because this will be my 600th parkrun.
Woo!
Now we have filmed this parkrun a couple of times before because it's our local, we do it regularly. But during this parkrun, I've been having a think about my 600 parkruns, or 599, and I am going to take you through some of my best parkrun experiences and achievements, and also some of my worst parkrun experiences and non-achievements. So hope you find it interesting as I reflect on some of the things that have happened to me and to Dawn in our years of parkrunning. Well, we've got a new worst absolutely coming up now because Dawn has decided to tell the core team that I'm doing 600, so I'll get a shout out. So this is parkrun 600 for me.
Did you really?
Yeah, and I'm reflecting on some of my best and worst parkrun experiences, and I put in mind one day, was it 2013 or 2012, we went all over Yorkshire.
God, it would be about 2012, wasn't it?
2012, so Simon and myself and another friend, we went all over Yorkshire, collected all the parkruns. We did 20 in 2 days, didn't we?
How many are there now in Yorkshire?
Ooh, we'd be hard pushed to do them all in a week, I think, wouldn't we? Especially the pace we're running these days.
Yeah.
But both Simon and myself did something pretty special on day one. Do you remember what that was?
Do you keep under set time?
Yeah, we did all 10 in under 20 minutes on day one. In fact, he finished in front of me. In fact, he probably did more than 10 5Ks because he kept running off in front, going wrong, leaving the park, into housing estates, all sorts. So.
What was that one we did on the canal front? That was the one that was in the shop.
Oh, Tees Barrage.
Tees
He went into Stockton Shopping Centre. Sadly, no more as a parkrun. So lovely to see Simon still running, and me still running, and indeed Steve still running, isn't he?
Yes.
Over in New Zealand.
One, two, one, go!
Number 600. Let's go. So I went on the 5K parkrun app to check some of my bests, and the first one I'll talk about is my best time, which remains from my first parkrun ever back in 2008, 16:27 at Cardiff. I don't think we'll ever better that unless we take a short course. Now this run along here reminds me of the first worst. On 4 occasions at parkrun I have fallen over. The most recent time being at this very point last week. So I'll stop. So I'm not going to do a demonstration now. I'm going to gingerly make my way around this corner. So other parkruns I have fallen down at are Ipswich and the one in Oswestry, I forget its name, and what was the other one? Oh, Cusworth Hall. Fell face first in a pile of mud. So one of the great things about parkrun is the age grading score you get every week, and my best ever was 82.6. I think that was at Hull Parkrun in 2012. What's your best on?
90.3 something or 6 something, I'm not sure.
Oh, have you done 90? I never knew. So moving back to one of my parkrun worst, I think was turning up at Didcot Parkrun several years ago, all ready to run, and realising with a growing sense of anxiety there was no parkrun to be had, but we quickly hot-footed it to Abingdon and were able to complete a parkrun that day. So have any of you ever turned up at a parkrun that wasn't in existence, and did you get to manage to do another one instead? So another piece of best information you can get from the 5K app is your best ever finishing position, and I've been fortunate enough to be first finisher. I was parkrun used to call it winner on 56 occasions, but last one was back in 2017, but I do look back on those particular events with some fondness. So moving back to another worst, I think the worst ever choice of shoes I made was at Abingdon parkrun about this time last year. We turned up and it was a really muddy trail run, and I turned up in absolute racing flats, had nothing else in the car. So you can see in the corner there some of the footage of me trying to navigate a muddy trail course in flat road shoes. So another parkrun best, my best year for parkrun in 2014, I actually managed 54 parkruns. What's the most you've ever managed in a year? I know people get into the 60s these days by going abroad and flying all over Europe to collect special day parkruns. Sort of seeing the volunteers there reminds me of my best volunteer role. I think there's two. One is photographer, which is in fact making these videos, got a few credits for that. I feel you're leaving something lasting and something that will be of use to people in the future who may want to visit that parkrun. And the other one is pacing, because again you're helping people push themselves and achieve a specific running and athletic goal and hit their targets and leave them glowing for the rest of the day. So they're my two best volunteer roles. So lovely running our local parkrun through the autumn leaves today. Lovely any time of year. But if you had to ask me my two best parkrun courses, I'd have to say Hull. It's flat, it's fast, it's a beautiful Victorian park, and it's where I grew up. And then Sewerby. Beautiful cliff-top views, stunningly varied course, and beautiful at any time of year. So there you go, those are my best two parkrun courses if I just had to choose two out of the 287 I think I've been to. So another parkrun worst, and that is going the wrong way. Now there's very little chance of going the wrong way on this parkrun course. It's up and down the old railway line. But once, I think at Thetford, there was me in the lead with another runner. I assumed he knew where he was going. I think he assumed I know where we were going. And Marshall was distracted because there was about 4 different directions people were coming from at that particular point. We ended up going the wrong way. I mean, I did run my best ever parkrun time of 15 minutes, but that was probably 3 minutes quicker than I should have run. So there we go, there's one of my worst, going the wrong way. Has that ever happened to you on a parkrun? If so, let me know in the comments. Flipping back to a best, what's the best parkrun breakfast you've ever had? Post parkrun, obviously. For us, I think it was at Five Arches in Radstock, Somerset, a couple of years ago. What happened is you go in a pub where the parkrun volunteers meet and process all the results and everything, and you can build your own breakfast. You get a tick sheet, you can say how many you want of each item. So if you want 4 portions of mushrooms, 2 rashers of bacon and 1 slice of toast, you literally get your perfect breakfast. So objectively, it's got to be the greatest parkrun breakfast in the world because it becomes absolutely bespoke to you. So there we go. If you ever get to do Five Arches parkrun, make sure to check out the post parkrun breakfast. I think the day we went, it was actually a Halloween special as well, as you can see from these pictures. So added festival entertainment there. This through 4K, that is 2,999 parkrun kilometres. So at the end of our local Penistone parkrun, you make a turning and you go up a short climb up the showground field here. And that got me into thinking, what is the worst hill I've ever had to encounter in a parkrun? I guess it's subjective depending on how you're feeling in the day. But the one where I came closest to walking must have been at Durlston Country Park down in Swanage in Dorset. It really is a stinker. I think you go up it 2 times, or even twice as they say in the English language. I don't think I've come across a steeper, more relentless hill in my parkrun history, so it's a spectacularly beautiful course nonetheless. So one on everybody's bucket list should be Durlston Country Park in Dorset, but mind out for that hill. So as you can see, today was a pretty standard autumn day, a little bit soggy underfoot, but nothing to write home about. But that put me in mind of the worst conditions I've ever done a parkrun in, and I think that was thick ice at Leeds, which is now Woodhouse Moor, several years ago. Back in those days, they didn't think about cancelling, it was just turn up, run at your own risk, don't be silly, and have a good parkrun, and we'll give you a time at the end. So yeah, worst conditions I've ever run in was thick ice. What are the worst conditions you've ever run a parkrun in? Let me know in the comments below. Let's see if we can avoid parkrun fall number 5 as we do the final 100 yards into the finish. So here we go folks, this is what crossing line on your 600th parkrun looks like. Actually pretty much the same as passing the finish line on your previous 599. Not to worry. there we have it, folks. 600 park runs and some of my best experiences and achievements and some of my worst experiences, which are all self-inflicted. So we hope you've enjoyed this video and something slightly different and reflections on parkrun. If you have, please give it a like, and if you'd like to see our parkrun adventures moving forward as we travel all around the country, then please subscribe to the channel, and we upload regular running content on our training and races too. So until next time, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.